Hi, everybody, and welcome to day 3 of our 1-week introductory Back to Basics program. I'm your workout partner and coach Nitish Balar, and today is going to be day 3. I'm sure you enjoyed the lower body and upper body workouts that we did previously, so it makes the perfect time to actually go through a recovery workout. So we're going to just flow through a set of movements right from the first movement till the last movement, and we'll repeat that for about 2-3 sets, making sure that our body is recovered really well, all the stiffness is kind of released, and then we are prepped for another lower body and upper body workout that's going to come later, right? So let's get straight into the workout for today and just flow along, enjoy each and every movement, all right? We're going to start off with the child's pose, or what we call as Balasan. So you'll notice throughout today's session that we'll start from one movement, go through a set of movements in a flow, and come back to the first movement that we started off with. That'll be one set, and then we'll repeat that for 2 more once we are done with it. All right? The first stretch is going to be what we call the child's pose, or in yoga what we call as Balasan, right? So you're going to sit down on your knees, hips will be down on your ankles, stretch your arms extremely straight and forward, drop your forehead down on the floor. We'll hold this for 30 seconds. Keep breathing, relax, let your hips relax, let your arms relax. Feel the stretch in your lats. Lats means here and your shoulders, and hold that. Halfway there. Keep breathing. Just focus on your breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The next movement is going to be lat stretch in the same position. So from here, all I am going to do is walk around sideways, reach a point where I can feel a great stretch in my lat. Hold it for 30 seconds. Ten seconds up. We always like to call the recovery sessions as spa session. Your body actually feels amazing at the end of this session. You feel like you can move much better, and that's 30 seconds. Let's move to the opposite side and hold again for 30 seconds. So putting this as a sandwich session between lower body, upper body sessions in a week really helps you get the best out of your training. Once you've trained your lower body and upper body, your body is actually very stiff or say sore. So that one day when you take that active rest and get the recovery session done really helps you to come back and nail or say ace your workouts later. 3, 2, 1 and rest. Come back to your child's pose. The next movement is going to be our armless prayer. For this, I'm going to slide forwards with my palms so that my hips stay above my knees. If you notice, my hips are above my knees. Drop my forehead down. This will be my puppy pose. From here, I'll get my elbows down on the floor, get the arms back on my neck, and stay here for 30 seconds. Keep breathing. This opens up your triceps, your lats, and your upper back to some extent. Keep breathing. With every exhale, try and press your armpits closer and closer towards the floor. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and rest. All right, moving on to the next movement. Lie down on your mat with the chest down on the floor. Get your palms next to your chest, keeping the feet on the floor. Push yourself up. Maintain soft elbows and let your shoulders back and down. Roll your shoulders back and down. Notice how I'm not locking my elbows out. We'll hold this for 30 seconds once again. You want to make sure that you're putting no strain on your shoulders. So keep them pulled back and down, and keep a slight bend in the elbow so that again you're not putting too much strain on your elbow joint. Look up. That's going to help you stretch your core. And if you can squeeze your bum, it will also help you stretch your hip flexors as well. And that's 30 seconds. So from here, I want you to get your toes down on the mat, Raise your heels up, go to a high plank. Get the hips higher, heels down on the floor. And that is your downward dog. We hold this for 30 seconds. In the downward dog, try and press your heels as low to the ground as possible. That is going to help you stretch your hamstrings. Push your chest towards the knees. Make sure your ears are in line with your arms or inside the arms. Right? That is when you'll feel a great stretch in your hamstring, upper back. 3, 2, 1. Let's move to the next one. Alternating calf switches in the downward dog position. And we do this for 30 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. From there, get down on your knee, and we'll move on to do the Samson stretch. So for the Samson stretch, you will first get down into a lunging position. Back knee under your hip, front knee slightly behind the heel. In this position, interlock your fingers, stretch your arms up. That's going to be your first starting position. Now, we get started with the dynamic portion of the movement. Squeeze your bum, pelvis tilts in. Push your knee forward, you start feeling a stretch in the hip flexor. From here, lean backwards, the stretch kind of gets deeper, and then turn towards the same side as the front knee. Hold for 30 seconds. This will give you a great stretch right from your quads to your hip flexors to your psoas muscle here. Make sure you're keeping your bum squeezed in. That is when you'll feel the stretch. Halfway there. All right. Almost there. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right. Come back to the starting position and stay in the lunge position here. Now, you're going to pull your ankle up and do the couch stretch for your hip flexor, right? From here, I'm going to pull my ankle up, hold it to close to my hips, and stay there for 30 seconds. Keep looking forward at just one point. The moment you start seeing here and there, you lose balance, right? So just try and focus on one point, just like I did. Focus on one point and maintain that balance. All right. Good going. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. So if you notice, I did the Samson stretch on the right leg, couch stretch on the left leg. Now, stand up. Move on to the next movement, which is going to be our deep squat hold, right? So from here, what I'm going to do is keep my feet as wide as my shoulders, toes pointed slightly outside. From there, push my hips back, push the knees out, go down into the bottom of a squat, use my elbows to push the knees out, and stay in this position for 30 seconds. Now, this is a real good position. You might as well smile. Enjoy this position because this is one of the most beneficial poses that you can hold on a day-to-day basis. If you can spend good enough time in the squat, 90% of your problems will get solved. Right? All right, 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right. Stand back up. Now, we repeat the Samson stretch, couch stretch, but on the opposite sides now. So what I'm going to do is, I'll get down on my knee once again. This time, the left knee in the front, knee slightly behind the heel, back knee under your hip. Now, this is my starting position. Interlock my fingers and extend my arms. From here, squeeze my bum, lean forwards, take the arms backwards, and bend to the same side as the front knee. Again, let's hold for 30 seconds. Same way, feel the stretch in your thighs, hip flexors, and psoas as well. All those who struggle with overhead movements, one of the possible reasons is having tight psoas. So if you do the Samson stretch really well, your overhead mobility is going to improve. All the movements that you do, overhead lunges, squats, everything will get better because your psoas gets released. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right. From this position, pull the ankle up towards your hips, look forward and hold that position. "30 seconds, 20 seconds up. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, moving on to the next movement. Again, like we did the squat hold, this time we are going to be doing the squat reach. What does that mean? Feet shoulder width apart, toes pointed outside. I'll go down into a squat, keep my palms down on the floor, and from this position, same arm I'm going to point up towards the ceiling alternately. And we'll do this for 30 seconds. Let's go. This is going to help you open up your spine. "20 seconds up. Try and keep your back straight such that your chest is always facing forwards. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, that was our deep squat reach. And we finish this once again with Balasan. So, stay on your knees, hips down on your ankles, arms stretched forward, and hold for 30 seconds. Last 10 seconds. And that's 30 seconds, which also marks the end of our first set, right? We'll take a quick short break, have some water. Today is all about recovering well, so make sure you're hydrated. Walk up and down your mat, catch your breath, and we'll repeat the same flow for 2 more sets, right? This is one of my go-to flows. Every time I kind of feel that my body needs a recovery session, or if I feel like my body is way too stiff and I don't want to think a lot as to what do I want to do, I go ahead and use this recovery flow because it kind of targets all the major muscles in your body and helps you feel much more relieved at the end of this flow. So which is why I try doing about 2 to 4 sets depending on how you feel. 2 to 3 sets should take you roughly between 30 to 45 minutes. If you want to do it for one more cycle, go ahead, try it. You should be done within an hour. But I can guarantee that you're going to feel amazing at the end of those 3-4 sets. Every muscle in your body feels very relaxed and you'll be able to move much more effectively. All right, 10 seconds. We'll get started with our second set. We'll start off with Balasan. So I'm going to sit down on my knees, hips down on my ankles, starting in 3, 2, 1, child's pose. 30 seconds. In fact, we'll try and hold the bilateral movements. Here, both arms are doing the same job. We'll try and hold bilateral movements for 45 seconds. And we'll do the unilateral movements for 30 seconds. Don't worry, you'll understand what both of these mean. Because I'm using both my arms in the stretch, I'm going to do this for 45 seconds. 15 more seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move to the next one, which is going to be our child's pose, lat stretch. Now because I am doing this each side, I'll hold it for 30 seconds each side. When the movement does not involve a side, we are going to stick to 45 seconds. And whenever we are doing the movement first on one side and then on the other, we'll stick to 30 seconds each side. Three, two, one, and switch sides. Slowly come back to the center, move to the opposite side, and again hold for 30 seconds. Mind you, whenever you're holding an active stretch, you don't want to jerk your body way too much to kind of stretch it too much, right? So just holding the position is going to give you a lot of stretch if you know how to breathe. Take a deep breath in, breathe out, and feel the stretch every time you exhale. It's going to give you a massive impact in your stretch. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right. We come back to the center and move to our next movement, which is going to be the armless prayer. So get my hips back so that the knees are under my hips. Arms stretched forward, forehead on the floor, elbows down on the floor, and get your palms back on your neck. Let's hold this for 45 seconds. Again, because I'm not doing it each side, I'm going to hold it for 45 seconds in total. Here, every time you exhale, try and push the armpits closer and closer towards the floor. If it hurts your shoulder, hold that position because that is going to stretch your shoulder muscles. If it's unbearable, slightly reduce the range of motion by coming back up. 15 more seconds. Three, two, one, and rest. Moving on to the next one, Cobra Pose. So first, lie down on your chest. Get your palms next to your chest. From there, press yourself up. Maintain soft elbows and roll your shoulders back and down. We'll hold this for 45 seconds. Again, we are not doing it each side, so we'll hold it for 45 seconds. While we didn't kind of highlight the importance of lifestyle score for today's session, make sure you build a habit of checking your score every day and keeping yourself kind of checking in every day to keep your score updated, because that is actually going to help you build healthier habits in the long run. Our recommendation is to try and keep it above 75 on a daily basis to see the best possible results irrespective of your goal. 3, 2, 1, and next movement is going to be our downward dog. From here, high plank, raise your hips up, heels down on the floor, and stay for 45 seconds. Like I was saying, keep tracking your lifestyle score on a daily basis. That's going to help you a lot. 15 seconds up. Fifteen more seconds to go. Three, two, one, and calf switches. Again, we continue for 45 seconds. Hold each leg for about a second. That is when you'll feel the stretch. Twenty more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right. Come back to the kneeling position, and we'll start off with the Samson stretch. Now, the last set I started off with my right leg on the Samson stretch, so I'm going to focus on doing it on the left leg this time on my first attempt, right? Like we did it in the last set, knee slightly behind the heel on the front leg, back knee exactly under your hip. Interlock your fingers, extend your arms, and we start with the movement. Squeeze your bum, push the knee forward, lean backwards, and bend to the same side as the front knee. Let's hold it for 30 seconds. Now, because we are doing left side and right side each, we are going to hold it for 30 seconds each side. Hold it, halfway there. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right. Now come back to the starting position. Pull your ankle up to your bum and hold that position. Squeeze your bum to get a better stretch in your hip flexor and try and keep your body as straight as you can. Hold it for 30 seconds again, because we'll also be repeating this on the left side as well. I personally feel the recovery sessions are far more important than the other sessions, because they just make your ability to do the other sessions that much more better. And 30 seconds it is. Okay, let's stand up. The next one is going to be the deep squat hold. Feet shoulder width, toes pointed outside, push the knees out, push the hips back, go down to the bottom of a squat, use your elbows to push the knees out, and stay in that position for 45 seconds. Again, this is not going to be each side, so we hold this for 45 seconds each. All right, 10 seconds up. Last 20 seconds. Make sure you keep your back straight, weight on your heels. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Right? Now we repeat the same thing but on the opposite leg. So get down into a lunge. Front heel slightly ahead of the knee, back knee under your hip. Interlock your fingers, arms extended overhead. From here, squeeze your bum, lean forward, upper arm backwards, bend to the side, same as the front leg. 30 seconds each side. So we often keep saying the statement, stick to the basics, and by the time you feel you've mastered them enough, it's time to start paying attention to finer details and start all over again. So if you notice, in every movement we kind of reiterate the basics as many times as possible, and that's 30 seconds, right? Okay, moving on to the couch stretch. Pull the ankle up to your bum, squeeze your bum, and look forward at just one point. 30 seconds here as well. So every movement you'll see how we try and help you understand the basics of each movement. What are the 4 important things you need to do in any form of squat? What are the 4 important things you'll do in any form of hinge? Whenever you're doing a stretch, what are those 3 to 4 important things that you need to keep in mind when you're doing a couch stretch? Keep your bum squeezed in, try and keep your torso straight, look forward is one point. That's the best possible way to get the couch stretch done. And 30 seconds it is. So throughout the Back to Basics program, as the name suggests, you will find a lot of references to get back to the basics and just stick to them. And that is what has been working for all of us, and I'm sure it will for you as well. All right, next stretch, deep squat reach. Get down into the bottom of a squat, feet shoulder width apart, toes pointed outside, palms down on the floor, and we go ahead and do 30 seconds each side, which means 60 seconds of deep squat reaches. From here, point my arm up, back down. Point my arm up, back down. And we keep going for 60 seconds. Okay, we're almost halfway there. And when you're in this position, make sure your knees are in line with your toes. Don't let the knees knock in. Let them be out. Push the knees as far out as you want. That is when your glutes get activated. Also, keep the weight on your heels, not on your toes. I should still be able to wiggle my toes here. Let your chest face forwards. Back will remain straight then. Right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. One last movement, and that's going to be your child's pose. Get down on your knees, hips down on your ankles, stretch your arms forward and hold for 45 seconds. Again, because this is going to be our bilateral movement. Let's hold. Try and take some deep breaths in the child's pose. Keep breathing. And time. All right. That was our second set. Again, take a short break, have some water, wipe that sweat off, and then we'll be back for our final set of today's flow. When you do the recovery workouts right, you can actually feel the impact of it. You start feeling more energetic. You can feel your muscle fibers getting released and how easily does your body move from one position to the other. Right? When you start off with a squat or a push-up or a pull-up or any other movement before a recovery session and you try the same movement at the end of a recovery session, see the difference for yourself as to how much of an impact can a recovery session make in your health and fitness. Right? Okay, 50 seconds and then we'll get started with our final set for the day. Again, a great practice to keep walking on the mat every time you rest. With this, you are pushing your heart to keep pumping blood to the muscles that you've been using. Whenever fresh blood gets pumped, it's just going to help you recover that much more easily. All right? Okay, 10 seconds. Let's get started. Again, we're going to do 45 seconds in case of bilateral movements, 30 seconds in case of unilateral movements. Let's start off with the child's pose. "45 seconds it is. The closer you can keep your hips to your ankles, the better the stretch. "15 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's switch to the next movement, which is going to be our child's pose lat stretch. And this we'll hold it for 30 seconds. Halfway there. Three, two, one, and rest. Okay, before we move to the other side, I wanted to highlight how much of an impact does a recovery session do, right? When we stretch our lat, our overhead pressing ability improves a lot. How do you figure that out? I just did the stretch on my left arm, so I'm going to first extend and get my right arm up, and I'm pushing it back. This is how far it can go right now. If I push it further back, my sternum is going to pop out, right? This is how far my right arm is. Similarly, when I get my left arm up and try and push it back, this is how far it can go. That is the amount of difference a simple stretch can do. When repeated over, say, 3 to 4 sets, it can have a great impact on your body, right? And I can push it far till here. My sternum pops out when I go further beyond, but otherwise, I'm good here, right? And now let's try it with the same thing on the opposite side. Child's pose, extend to the opposite side, hold for 30 seconds. Halfway there. Last 10. Three, two, one, and relax. Okay, before we get on to the armless prayer, now let's try and see with both arms. This is how far back it can go. And further I go, my sternum pops out, but this is how far I can go as of now. So never miss your recovery sessions. Okay, the next movement is going to be our armless prayer. Hips above your knees, arms stretched forward, forehead down on the floor, elbows resting on the floor, palms come back, and we hold it for 45 seconds. With every exhale, press the armpits closer and closer towards the floor. Hold it. 10 seconds. Three, two, one, and rest. All right. Next is going to be our Cobra Pose, for which lie down on your chest, forehead down on the floor. Get your palms next to your chest. Press yourself up. Keep soft elbows, roll your shoulders back and down, look up towards the ceiling. Hold it for 45 seconds. Don't lock out your elbows and neither don't push the shoulders forward. Keep them pulled back and down, slight bend in the elbows. All right, halfway there. Ten seconds. Three, two, one, and rest. The next movement is our downward dog. So I'm going to slightly move ahead, get into a high plank, raise my hips up, get the heels touch the floor, and stay for 45 seconds. Because I took my palms forward by about 1 palm's distance, I can feel a better stretch in my hamstring. So if I get my palms closer, I am able to touch the heel more comfortably and I don't feel a great stretch in my hamstring. So I just keep my palms away while I can still keep my ears next to my arms and touch the heels to the ground. That makes me feel a great stretch in the hamstrings. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and downward dog, calf switches. We'll do this for 60 seconds because that way we'll get 30 seconds each side. Also, every human body is different. The proportion between the lengths of your upper body and lower body can be different, because of which stretches, movements have to be dealt differently. So try and understand the principles that help you move well. Just like I mentioned regarding the downward dog, you need to feel a stretch in your hamstring. In the calf switches, you'll feel it in the calves. So for that, find a spot which will actually help you feel the stretch better. More than halfway there. Last 15 seconds. Three, 2, 1, and rest. All right. That was our downward dog calf switches. Moving on to the next exercise, it's going to be our Samson stretch. Get into a lunging position, front knee slightly behind the heel, back knee under your hip, interlock your fingers, extend your arms up, and let's get started with the movement. Squeeze your bum, push the knee forward, pull the knee backwards, pull the arms backwards, and bend towards the same side as the front leg. Hold it for 30 seconds. Make sure you keep your bum squeezed in. That is when you'll feel the stretch right from your thighs to your hip flexors to your psoas. 20 seconds up. Three, 2, 1, and rest. All right. Come back to the lunging position. Moving on to the next exercise, the couch stretch. Pull your ankle up to your bum. Hold it with both your ankles, both your palms. Squeeze your bum and look forward at just one point. Let's hold it for 30 seconds. Again, try and squeeze your bum. Hold it that way. Pull your chest back. Sit as upright as you can. And if you struggle with keeping your knee down on the mat, you can grab a pillow if it hurts you a lot, right? You can keep a pillow under your knee and that should still be good enough for you. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, let's get up and get ready for the deep squat hold for 45 seconds. Feet shoulder width apart, toes pointed outside. Let's go down, stay there, push the knees out and smile. Hold that. Twenty more seconds. Keep the weight on your heels, knees in line with your toes, back straight, and chest always facing forwards. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right. Okay, one last time. Samson stretch on the left, couch stretch on the right leg, squat reaches, and Balasan, and we are done. Okay? Get started with the lunge position, knee slightly behind your heel, knee under your hip on the back leg. Extend your arms. And let's get started. Squeeze your bum, push the knee forward, lean backwards with your arms and bend to the same side as the front knee. Hold it for 30 seconds. It's a tricky one, the Samson stretch. Too many moving parts and it becomes really hard to hold on to each position for a long time. Keep breathing. 3, 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, come back to the starting position. And from here, pull the ankle up, pull it to your bum, squeeze your glutes, and keep a straight torso for 30 seconds. Halfway there. Three, 2, 1, and rest. All right. Stand up and let's get started with the deep squat reaches. The second last movement of today's flow. Go down to the bottom of a squat and we'll do this for 60 seconds because we do one each side. And starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. 20 seconds up, 40 more to go. Halfway there. Twenty more seconds. Keep pointing the arm up and do it as smoothly as you can. Don't try and be in a hurry. It's just going to make the movement all the way more difficult. 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. And we finish it off with 45 seconds of the child's pose. Get down on your knees, hips down on your ankles, arms stretched forward, and relax. Fifteen seconds up. Ten seconds. And rest. All right, that brings us to the end of day 3 of our introductory week at Back to Basics. I hope you loved today's session as much as I did. We did a beautiful recovery flow. Started off from the child's pose, moved slowly up, started stretching our lats, triceps, and then again we came back to our lower body and finished it off with the child's pose once again. We did 3 flows. If you feel like you can go ahead and do one more, feel free to. This is something you can always have as your go-to workout. I personally do that. I like to come back to this workout every time I feel my body is way too stiff. Come back and do it and I feel great at the end of it. Right? If you like the session just like I did, do take a selfie of yours, of your glowing face, and post it on the community. And stay tuned. We've got some amazing workouts lined up after today's session. We've had a lower body workout and an upper body workout that completes our introductory week of the Back to Basics program. So, hope you enjoyed the session. See you once again with another lower body and an upper body session. Until then, stay fit, stay healthy.